if you can hook in the viewer and make him watch, you're winning the social media game. So in today's video, I'm gonna show you 3 editing techniques that will help you to hook the viewer in from the very first second. But before we begin, my name is Bart and I'm a video editor. I have been in the space for a really long time and I've grown my Instagram to over 50k followers. So I think I know a little bit about getting people engaged. And I've also recently opened up my store with video editing digital assets. So if you want to supply yourself with some sauce, then check out the description below. Enough for the intro, we're gonna get straight into After Effects. For the sake of the tutorial, I got a talking head over here and we're just gonna work with this even though I'm not gonna match what I'm saying here. So obviously the video like that rather wouldn't get any attention, so we need to spice it up. The first technique would be adding the text, but that's quite obvious. So we need to animate the text, because whenever something is moving on the screen, it's always just more engaging. It's just adding that seamless touch and makes you wanna watch more. So let's go ahead and type something. So the first step would be just positioning the text in the right place, because obviously we just cut that text and typed in neat. It's alright, but it's quite boring. So let's delete this, and instead of that we're gonna put that word here. Then we're gonna duplicate the layer. Let's grab this somewhere here. We're gonna type in neat. We're gonna manually adjust it, and then we're gonna add another text, which is 2. Let's adjust this one this time, and we're gonna duplicate that word and put it here. So now it still doesn't really look that good. So what I would usually do is adjust the scale. So we're gonna go to U, decrease the scale, and we want to kind of make the words we want to emphasize bigger. So for example this, I'm gonna leave it like that and I'm gonna make the stop even bigger. And to me it already looks much better. Now we want to emphasize stop even more, so I would change the color for this for red. It's actually matching the scene right now. Now we're gonna get on to animating the text. So for this, I'm gonna just add a subtle movement from the right. So for example, I'm gonna select all these upper 3 words and I'm gonna hit P, hit the stopwatch, move the keyframes forward, and we're gonna drag X a little bit to the right. Now I'm gonna select them all, hit F9, move to the graph editor, and here we want to make a mountain on the left, just like that. So it's already a nice subtle movement. We could actually take the second yellow dot and drag it more towards the left. I think we should squeeze in the keyframes to make the movement a bit faster. Next step, we're gonna hit T, click the stopwatch, and we're gonna create keyframes for opacity, because we want to fade in the text. Now we're gonna offset each layer by 2 frames. Just like that. It's already looking pretty good. Now as for the last text, we're gonna create a keyframe for position and we're gonna slide it in from the bottom. Let me go to the graph editor, make sure to press F9, create the peak on the left, and now we're gonna spread out the keyframes and create keyframes for opacity. Let's make a little adjustment. Okay, seems good to me. A second method to hook the viewer in is adding glow. Glow is an effect I use a lot and it's very eye-catching. So for this I'm gonna head over to stop and let's adjust the radius a little bit to just spread it out a bit more. Subtle but noticeable difference. If you had the deep glow plugin, you could use it because it just looks so much better. Let's just adjust the settings. Let's grab that radius, increase it to 800. Yeah, so let's do a little comparison. Before, after. So I'm gonna leave it like that with the deep glow. And now the most important thing is zoom in and zoom out. So for this we're gonna create a new adjustment layer. Now I'm gonna add transform effect, and we could go to the very beginning, create a keyframe for scale, hit U, move forward, and increase the value. Now we're gonna do the same thing as we did for the animations of the text. So we're just gonna create a peak on the left. But that's very intense, so we need to spread out the keyframes. That's already way better, but we could also go for a zoom out effect. So I can delete the keyframes, go somewhere here, create a keyframe for scale, go back to the very beginning, increase the value to around 115. Now let's select both, press F9, and in the graph editor we're gonna create the peak on the left again. That already looks so much more eye-catching than the original state. These things are so simple to create but very effective. Also remember to always use motion blur for the smoothest looks. If you want to add motion blur to the transform effect, you would head over here, turn it off, and increase shutter angle to around. The bigger the value, the more motion blur you will have. So I think I'm gonna stick with 200 and leave it like that. One thing that I usually do instead of that adjustment layer is adding the one from my pack. Let me just quickly show you. Let's go to shake, full HD, vertical shake. We're gonna copy the layer and paste it here. And now we got a nice shaky footage over here with a zoom in and zoom out. So these are basically 3 simple methods that will skyrocket your engagement or engagement for your clients. So make sure to include them in your work and I'll see you tomorrow. Cheers guys.